Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mary Hernandez Castellanos, and I am a community interpreter who works in various areas. Community interpreting covers just a lump sum amount of amazing areas, education, city, some conferences, some events, and just so much more. Anywho, today we're here to talk about the three modes of interpreting. Now, there are three modes of interpreting. There's a fourth, and we'll talk a bit about that. So, we have simultaneous, consecutive, shushatag, and sight translation. So, that's the fourth one. Now, in simultaneous mode, the interpreter is real life rendering in real time while the speaker is speaking their speech or saying their speech or whatever it is. That could be a training. While the speaker is speaking, the interpreter is then interpreting in real time in the target language. There's about a 5-word lag or a couple seconds so that thoughts can be processed, and the interpreter has that ability to be able to process those thoughts accordingly. Now, that is in simultaneous mode. In simultaneous mode, there could be portable equipment that could be used, portable equipment that is accessible in smaller events. There's a booth in where the interpreter has a microphone, a headset, just like the one I'm wearing, and they're able to hear the speaker and then render into a microphone. That is in simultaneous interpretation. It is used in many, many different areas. Now we have consecutive interpretation. In consecutive, there is a turn taking. In consecutive, the speaker speaks in shorter sentences, and then the interpreter uses a notepad and a pen to take notes. And while the speaker is going, the interpreter will take notes along the lines like this. Your notes should go down. Every interpreter has their own note-taking technique. It isn't specialized for it's something you learn that you build to be your own skill. And once you are or the speaker is done with their phrase, the interpreter then renders in the target language using the notes that they were taking from the speaker while they were speaking. Now, in consecutive, it is used in also in different areas in healthcare, in education, and even in political settings. Every area has a longer time frame that the memory retention of the interpreter needs to be used more. So it's important to choose the different modes of interpreting as well as where your strong suit is for the different areas and where they're used. And that is consecutive interpretation. You take turns. You, as the interpreter, can also let the speaker know to speak in shorter phrases, and then you can go ahead and interpret in a faster pace rather than waiting longer periods of time. Now, there is also shushatag. So when I don't have or when I did not have equipment, my portable equipment, I would do shushatag. So I would sit behind the person that needed to hear me and I would whisper. So shushatag is whisper interpreting. So you whisper into the ear of the person. Now, I don't utilize that anymore, especially after the season we went through with the pandemic. I prefer to use portable equipment as that allows me to have space, and some people may not feel comfortable having you in their space. So it's still an option. However, it isn't something that I have used as much. However, it is still an option. And then we have sight translation. Sight translation is when you have a literature that's handed to you and the person in the meeting or any organizer or whatnot says, can you please interpret this or translate this? So you're doing sight translation and interpretation on the spot while you review this document, you have to ask for time for review of the document because you need to get familiarized with what the topic is going to be that you are supposed to just interpret on the fly. There are in education interpreting, there are reports that you may need to sometimes cite translate, disclosures, agreements. In it isn't just limited to education. You have community events where you have certain public comments that are written, and so a person can hand you that comment and you then have to review it to ensure that you are familiarized with what you're reading. That is done. Site translation is almost in a consecutive simultaneous mode because you're reading it, you're taking a pause, you're making sure, then as you keep going and reading that document, you're doing it in simultaneous mode, so you're incorporating a lot into that, and that is also a mode of interpreting. I like and prefer simultaneous, but I do encourage you, and I always push myself to be very familiar with all modes of interpreting because you just never know what you might run into. So always be prepared, always have a notepad and a pen, and always be familiarized with all of the different techniques that it takes to be able to interpret in all the different modes. I've been in meetings where all modes are used, and it is a success because I can take control of the skill that I have practiced. So, those are the different modes of interpretation. I hope you got something out of that. And if you liked it, go ahead, like and subscribe. If you have any other tips or something else that I'm missing, I would love to hear it because when you comment or you show me something, I will take it in and learn from it. And then when I let you know what I have learned, I learn too. So, thank you very much for visiting my channel. You can find me on socials, Instagram at MHC underscore interpreting, LinkedIn, Mary Hernandez Castellanos, and YouTube. So thank you once again, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.